Hello everyone, Kleptomaniac here. I had really big plans of preparing a ton of interesting builds and other videos for you before the league starts, but unfortunately time was working against me due to the packed working schedule filled with business trips alongside with other real-life obligations. I was actually so ambitious that I made a bet with my friend that by second day of the league I will get up to 1000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. So, if you want to help me to make him at least to sweat a little bit, please subscribe and click that bell icon so you get notified whenever I upload a new video. Now, let's get to the main part why you have clicked on this video. As you have already guessed, my league starter in 3.18 is definitely going to be once again Hierophant Ballista. For some reason this build isn't that popular, which actually makes it even better starter build because unique items required for this build are going to be dirt cheap also this league. This build can do everything. It has reasonable good defenses through spell suppression, physical damage reduction, life regen, cold damage which freezes enemies, and so on. Since it's a totem build, it allows you that after you place your totems, you can freely move around avoiding all deadly mechanics while your totems consistently deal damage. It is also a decent mapper and a complete powerhouse when it comes to bossing. With new Uber bosses coming this league, there is one more reason to pick this build. Last league I have started to kill all endgame bosses from day 3 and made a ton of currency on it. Just to be clear, I'm not the fastest when it comes to the campaign because I always get distracted by the new league mechanics, and instead of 4 to 5 hours of campaign, it always takes me 7 to 8 hours to finish it. There are some players that might tell me right away, but this is a deck stacking build and usually you can't league start those kind of builds. Partially, that is true. We will level as a Hierophant first with Holy Flame Totem and then switch to Explosive Arrow Ballistas. You can find full leveling progression in the POB link down below in the description. The switch to Siege Ballista we do after we hit maps and acquire some mandatory unique items. And those uniques are really cheap. If you look at items like Iron Commander Bow, Fractal Thoughts Mask, Here is the Mice Quiver, and Wild Wrap, which are 1 Chaos uniques even on day 1 of the league. The most expensive mandatory uniques are Astra Mantis, which was around 10 to 15 Chaos on day 1, and Garrock Flight's Boots, which were around 50 to 60 C on day 1. Rest of the gear slots such as rings, belts, and gloves we can craft ourselves. In the description you can find links to the videos in which I show you how to craft them. There are some unique jewels to keep an eye on early, like Rain of Splinters, Fluid Motion, and Bronze Jewel. Those are also usually not that expensive. Maybe Rain of Splinters might be a little bit more popular due to the Explosive Arrow meta. Last league this build was doing approximately 1 million Shaper DPS per exalted orb invested in it. I even didn't min-max it until the end and I easily reached more than 120 million Shaper DPS, which is more than enough to insta-phase or insta-kill majority of the endgame bosses. So if you want to play a build with which you can clear the whole game from the campaign to its hardest content, you have come to the right place. As the league goes, I will put updates on the build and share my progression in the Sentinel League. If you have any other questions, please let me know down in the comments. Also, if you like my content, please subscribe and click on that like because it means and helps a lot. Thank you very much for tuning in and see you soon.